Welcome to the Pop Cult Pod. I am your cult leader, Tom Bad, here, breaking down the incredibly anticipated second trailer for Shazam. You've waited long enough for this trailer. I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. Let's break this bitch down. This is, of course, Philadelphia, where the film is set. Interesting thing we're getting just north of the frame here, just at the very top. You can see 4 statues there. I think this might be 4 of 7 statues, actually. I think there's a very good chance these are the statues that house the 7 deadly sins, which were trapped by the wizard Shazam. They're normally depicted as 7 demons, obviously depicting the 7 deadly sins. They often manage to influence heroes or human characters, give them power and strength. They kind of look like this more in modern comics. And I think there's a good chance they're going to be freed by Savannah and possibly help him in this fight against Shazam. Because they often do get freed by a villain. And of course, they reward them with it. We'll talk about Dr. Savannah a little bit later on in the trailer. Let's get back to our wizard. Here's Asher Angel as Billy Batson. That's the wizard Shazam played by Digimon Hinsu, who you might know from the other Captain Marvel film coming out, Guardians of the Galaxy and Aquaman very briefly. So as you heard there, saying the name Shazam gives him powers. Just powers like that, okay? So that's, he says, in saying Shazam, he gets the powers. So let's talk about those powers. First of all, Shazam is an acronym for the powers he's getting. The wizard actually gave Black Adam powers as well in a lot of incarnations, who in this universe is meant to be played by The Rock, if it eventually happens. Those powers come from Egyptian gods. In the case of Shazam, they mostly come from Greco-Roman gods. So Shazam is an acronym. S is for the wisdom of Solomon. H is the strength of Hercules, A is the stamina of Atlas, Z is the power of Zeus, A is the courage of Achilles, and M is the speed of Mercury. So we will point those out a bit in the trailer. This is Billy Batson's friend Freddie Friedman. We will talk a little bit about him later on too.
That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
Some of these things we saw in TV spots and Comic-Con trailer. A lot of this stuff though at the end is new. Okay, so this is where we get to see some of his powers and where they come from. Strength from Zeus. Also, in this shot here, you can see that Freddy's wearing a Wonder Woman shirt. There's a lot more tie-ins to the DC universe later on.
Electricity manipulation.
That is obviously the power of Zeus.
Hyperspeed.
And that is the speed of Mercury.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
Looks like that lady doesn't give a shit about her job. I'm sure regardless of whether you're dressed as a superhero or an adult, she'd probably sell you beer anyway.
Sparkle Fingers.
No, it's not. That's not my name.
I think that might be the trailer has My Name Is by Eminem and also that joke there. I think they're kind of joking and playing off the whole controversy about the whole Captain Marvel name, and we might talk about that very briefly at the end of this.
Chosen one.
That's our flying shot there. Here's our first look at Dr. Savannah, and you can see he's using lightning here. We'll talk about a bit of Dr. Savannah now, being played by Mark Strong. This is what he looks like in the comics. As you can see, he's saying here, I can see magic. That's because the eye in his head, which you'll see glowing later on in the trailer, is used to detect magic. So the story of Dr. Savannah, in the comics he's a genius, he's an inventor, and he can pass through solid objects. We don't see any evidence of a lot of that in this trailer. Could definitely tie in certain aspects into the movie. In the film, what we do know is that he was once approached by the Wizard of Shazam, but he did not get given the powers. He wasn't chosen. And that is why he refers to Billy Batson as the chosen one in this trailer. It's led to something of a lifelong interest in finding magic. And it looks like he might have got his hands on some, because he's got powers here that aren't in the comics, like lightning, flight, and super strength. Maybe he's getting those powers from those 7 deadly demons we were talking about. I don't know. I'm hedging a lot of my bets on those demons being there.
Oh, you're like a bad guy, right?
That's of course his magic eye there.
Did the opposite of what a superhero is supposed to do.
Very reminiscent of Man of Steel, the shot. I think Shazam might be something of a surrogate for Superman going forward in this universe, and it definitely looks like there's a few shots here that remind us of Superman in general, and definitely Man of Steel, but we will talk a bit about the Superman influence on Shazam in a second.
You're him. You're the...
A shot that could mean nothing, but could mean a lot, especially if you're a comic fan. These are Billy Batson's foster brothers and sisters. Here are their names. Mary Bromfield, Eugene Choi, Darla Dudley, and Pedro Pena. Now, why is this noteworthy? because in the comics, a lot of these characters go on to be the Shazam family, or the Marvel family as they used to be known. Most notably, Mary Bromfield became Mary Marvel. So there's just a few examples of the Marvel family. Also along with them normally is Freddie Friedman, who I mentioned briefly. That's the friend we see with Billy Batson throughout. He often becomes Captain Marvel Jr. Now, there has been some suggestion in marketing and promotion for this, and even some merchandise that has possibly teased that they could be in this film as the Marvel family. I don't know, maybe it's just an end credit scene, or maybe they could be fighting those 7 deadly sins in demon form. I don't know. As I said, the 7 deadly demons or 7 deadly sins of man, or whatever you want to call them, I'm hedging a lot on them being in this trailer.
You're the hero.
You're welcome for not getting robbed. I bet.
As I said, a lot of teases to the DC, wider DC universe in this. We have Batman, Superman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman. And here he is, getting Batman to do his dirty work for him.
Get him, Batman!
Get him, Batman. As you can see as well, I'll just go back a little bit here. As you can see, they love putting superheroes with similar powers against each other.
I'm Batman. Get him, Batman!
Just after this. So there's a good look at Savannah and his eye and his powers. But if you look here, they're both using similar beams. So Savannah's definitely been powered up for this film, and it could possibly be those demons. But it's generally a comic trope, especially in origin films, that we get a superhero and villain that are evenly matched and have quite similar powers. And it looks like that's going to be the case in Shazam as well.
How old are you?
Basically 15.
Shazam being a bit irresponsible with his powers, this could be a point where he has to learn a bit about being responsible with your powers.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, you electrocuted a bus and almost killed these people.
And then I caught it!
Freddy being something of a moral compass for him in general, which is nice.
Can leave tall buildings in a single bound.
Well, that should sound very familiar to people.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. This amazing stranger from the planet Krypton. The Man of Steel. Superman.
That's right, that is a common word for Superman when they say he can leap tall buildings in a single bound. As you can see, there's a lot of allusions to Superman in this. And let's talk a bit about the Shazam Superman connection for a sec. This is from the New 52, which we'll talk about in a sec. Fawcett Comics, who originally owned Shazam, it wasn't DC, actually got in a lawsuit with DC about possibly taking elements from Superman for their character Shazam, which eventually ended with Fawcett stopping making superhero comics, and eventually DC ended up licensing Captain Marvel, as he was on at that time. But by the time they licensed him, that gap of and that absence in between is when Marvel got the trademark for Captain Marvel and started putting out their own Captain Marvel, which is why he became known as Shazam so much. So there has been historically a lot of a Superman influence in Shazam, and in the New 52 especially, Billy Batson has looked at Superman as sort of a role model, and it looks like there's definitely going to be a lot of inspiration from Superman here, and a lot of the shots look somewhat reminiscent of it as well, and that's probably on purpose. Looks like it's going to be a lighter, more fun kind of take on Superman. This shot is from the New 52, as I said, where Superman actually gives his real identity to Billy Batson. Anyway, I wanted to put all that in there because I'm sure people are going to give me crap about calling someone Captain Marvel, because some people are really angry about that. I don't know why. We can have two guys, relax. So that is our Captain Marvel trailer. What did you think of it? I gotta say, I really like this trailer. I'm looking forward to this movie. It's quite, they put it out quite late, but hey, it's a good trailer. A lot of tease of what's to come, more so than you would expect. When I looked at this trailer first, I didn't think there was a lot in there, but after breaking it down, yeah, there is a lot of hints at what we could be getting in this film and in future entries. So, if you've enjoyed this, I have a podcast where I talk trailers, films, TV, and video games. You can check it out on all platforms, Pop Gold Pod. This week, I'm going to be talking the Hellboy trailer, the Dark Phoenix trailer, and I'm going to be talking about Watchmen for its 10th anniversary in detail. Or you can keep it locked on YouTube here, where a lot of that stuff goes up already. Along with some new videos, I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel version of Captain Marvel at the end of this week. So keep it locked here for more. And for anything else, I don't know how to finish that. I will see you next time. Later.